Hello everyone, welcome back to the world of English exams. This video is going to be really helpful for all of you who are wishing to write a very good essay and perform very well in the IELTS writing section. This video is going to tell you about how the linking words need to be used and what exactly are these linking words. Many of the students are confused as to how to join the sentences together and how to write a very good body paragraph and the introduction and the conclusion. So if you are one of them who is facing the similar kind of problem, this video is for you. Do stay tuned till the end of the video if you wish to know the complete details and the information pertaining to what linking words are and how do we use them in the right context. So let's start today's video by understanding the information about linking words. So what exactly is meant by linking words? As you can see in the figure, linking words are functioning like a chain, a link to join the sentences, one sentences with another. So these are also called transition words or discourse markers or cohesive devices. So guys, it is very important for us to know the information about linking words as they play a very significant role not just in task 1 but also in task 2 of the IELTS writing test. Even for that matter, in the speaking test also, you get to join and speak using sentences which are mostly complex. So you need to show a wide variety of sentence structures to get a high score on what is called grammatical range and accuracy. So 25% of the overall score in both writing as well as speaking depends on what is called grammatical range and accuracy. Added to this, linking words are included under what is called coherence and cohesion. So coherence and cohesion are two very important terms that you need to understand. And let me define what is cohesion. So coherence goes with generating ideas, whereas cohesion is defined as those words or phrases which must be used to establish a relation between two or more sentences in order to imply the meaning completely. So if you want to make a paragraph that is completely meaningful and which carries a wealth of information, then definitely you need what are called linking words. However, you need to be careful not to overuse the linking words. Just because you are aware of these phrases and words, do not constantly and repeatedly use them. See to it that you are using it appropriately and in the right context. So now let's get into some details and I'm going to show you the public version of the band descriptors which are officially followed, and let's see and understand what is the importance of these cohesive features or cohesive devices, discourse markers, whatever you may call it. Okay, so now this chart is called the public version of the band descriptors for writing task 2 of the IELTS exam. So you can clearly see that the description for each and every band point is given here, and I want you to particularly focus on the coherence and cohesion column which I have pointed using arrows. As you can see, from the band ranges 6 to band 8, you can see that one of the factors that is giving you a score of band 6 is use this cohesive device effectively, but cohesion and or within sentences may be faulty. So you may use cohesive devices, but if you are not using it appropriately and effectively, then there is always a chance that your score might drop down to a 6. Then let's understand what is the band 7 description for cohesion. Uses a range of cohesive devices appropriately, although there might be some underuse or overuse. So here that's what I was talking about. You need to use the cohesive devices rightly and in the proper context. Do not underuse or overuse. So as the saying goes, too much is too bad. So whether you are using it or not is one factor, and the second factor is whether you are using it appropriately and precisely or not. Then let's look at band 8 description for cohesion. Manages all the aspects of cohesion very well. So here this shows that if you are improving in your cohesion, then definitely the band score would shoot up to an 8. Similarly for band 9 also, you can see that the first point says uses cohesion in such a way that it attracts no attention. That means so these are the various instances where I get to use the cohesive devices like we have just spoken about. And let's understand the first use of linking words. So the first use of linking words is when you are giving your opinion. So while stating your opinion, you can use any of these phrases. I am giving you many options, but you may choose your particular opinion and you may present it in using different linking words as I have given here. The first one is in my opinion. The second one, I concur. I strongly opine that. I strongly agree. I completely agree, or I totally agree. I fully support. Now this is what is called a collocation, wherein you're combining, you're joining two different words together. Then I disaccord, which means I do not support. I tell that this is a disagreement. Then my opinion is that I accord with the given statement. In my view, my belief is that apparently, according to me, from my point of view, I must admit that from my perspective, I feel that. I partially agree or I partially disagree. Then I fully disagree. I vehemently agree or oppose. So guys, as you can see, these are the various ways in which you can put your opinion forward. So which you can state your opinion. For example, let's imagine that you get this essay on the test day. Nowadays, many people feel that children should be sent to school. Do you agree or disagree? So here they are clearly asking for us to give our opinion. So I may say that in my opinion, children should be enrolled in schools. As simple as that. Or I can tell that I concur, or I agree. Concur is nothing but I agree. So I concur to the given statement that children should be sent to schools. Then if at all I am putting my opinion in a much stronger tone, then I can use words like I strongly opine. Opine is nothing but it's my belief. So I strongly believe that. Instead of telling that, I can use I strongly opine that enrolling children in schools is a good practice. Or I can put it in the other way. I must admit that sending children to school is advantageous not only for the children but also for the parents. Then I can tell that I fully disagree that children should be sent to schools. Rather, some people feel that children should be staying at home and maybe the parents can nurture them in a much better way. Let's say this is my opinion. So whatever idea I get and in whatever way I need to structure the paragraph, depending on that I use the appropriate linking words or cohesive devices. Now let's move on to the second application or the second subcategory of when to use linking words. The second application is to list the ideas. Yes, when you are writing an essay, or for that matter when you are writing a letter or a report, all you need to do is you need to have ideas and you need to link those ideas and connect them. And what is the better way than to use linking words? Yes, so that's the second application, to list the ideas one after another. So for this, I am giving you certain examples. On the one hand, on the other hand, to begin, to commence, first and foremost, to start, firstly, on the flip side, further, furthermore, in contrast, on the contrary, secondly, although, though, despite, in spite of, now that, moreover, in addition to this, additionally, yet another factor could be. Nevertheless, nonetheless, however, my goodness. So you have so many linking cohesive devices when you're planning to list the ideas. So it's all about the appropriate selection of linking devices or cohesive features that's going to decide the score. And as I say this, let me also give you an information that if at all you're using the cohesive devices correctly, then 25% of the score is guaranteed in the writing section, as well as in the speaking section. You may use the same cohesive devices to score well in the factor called fluency and coherence. So now let's frame some sentences using this. Maybe the essay question says, increasing the prices of petrol is the best way to solve the pollution problem. So you need to give whether it is the right or wrong. So then you can tell that, yes, on the one hand, there are some people who believe that increasing the price of petrol is the best way to solve the traffic problems. On the other hand, others would disagree and tell that there are alternative ways in which you can lower the pollution problem and not just increasing the price of fuel. Then you can put the same sentence in another way. Although increasing the price of petrol is a good measure to control the pollution problem, there are other effective solutions for this as well. So you can use the word additionally or in addition to this when you're joining two similar ideas or two similar points. Similarly, you can also use moreover and furthermore. So let's say you're comparing and contrasting, then you can use phrases like on the other hand, on the flip side, on the contrary, in contrast, nevertheless, nonetheless. Another factor could be however. All these are showing that you're contrasting and you're writing a completely different idea in the second body paragraph as compared with the first body paragraph. Now this is the second application. Please pause the video at this point if you want to read all the phrases that I have given once more. So now going back to the third main application of cohesive devices is to give examples and surveys. As a part of your essay, you would be given a statement in the question prompt which says you can use examples from your own experience to justify your opinion. Under such circumstances, we need to give supporting examples and surveys. So for that, you can use such linking words to illustrate, to cite an example. For example, for instance, a good example here is dash can be cited as an ideal example for this. As an illustration, namely, such as, like, indeed. In fact, research shows that. A recent survey indicated that. So when you know what are the cohesive devices to be used, I'm sure that all of you will use it appropriately. So now I have categorized the linking words according to the situation where you can use it. So that makes the job even more simpler for you. So for example, you can tell that, for example, the government should allocate a higher amount of fund to develop the railways, because as I can see in the recent survey, 70% of the commuters preferred railways to commute from one place to another, and hence investing on railways is a very good option for the government. So this is how I need to give examples and surveys, and especially when you're writing an essay, this is very, very important. Now let's go to the next use. To suggest a result. So when you are suggesting that something would happen as a result of an action which is performed earlier, even for that you can use linking words like consequently, as a consequence, subsequently, eventually, as a result, this results in, this leads to, the consequences of so and so. So guys, if at all you're using such cohesive devices, then you are telling the reader, you're giving the hint to the reader that you're now going to suggest a consequence. Whether it's a positive impact or a negative impact, that depends on the topic. So both for a positive result and a negative result, you can use such words. For example, Global warming is a major problem nowadays. Consequently, the temperature of the globe is increasing. So this is a negative consequence. Now talk about a positive consequence. You can use that. People are now learning an effective recycling method to so as to generate lesser amount of waste. So eventually this is going to lead to a much healthier society. This is a positive result. So for a positive activity there can be a negative result. For a negative activity there can be a positive result as well. So when you're brainstorming, always think along these lines, not just thinking within the box. If you can think outside the box and if you can brainstorm effectively and if you can write using the cohesive devices, there is nothing better than that, guys. Let's move on to the next application. To conclude, so any essay in particular should have a good conclusion. To start the conclusion, you can use these phrases. In conclusion, to sum up, overall, henceforth, thus, therefore, to summarize, all in all. So, to conclude, to recapitulate, to reiterate. As you can see, not just one, but we are providing you with many linking words. So it is up to your choice, guys, whether you are able to use all of them, and don't restrict yourself to just using one particular linking word. Try to mix and match. Try to show a variation to the reader so that you will get good score for coherence and cohesion. And continuing with the conclusive phrases, so I will give you an example. To sum up, I think that educating children in schools is a very good practice, and eventually it might also lead to their overall holistic development. Or I may say that to conclude, this essay has discussed the advantages and disadvantages of a particular trend. So, or you can tell that to recapitulate, this essay has shed some light or thrown some light onto the topic, and it has elucidated both the views in a great detail. So all these sentences can be used directly in the IELTS exam. So don't hesitate to use these phrases. Now the next application of linking words is to form compound sentences. Yes. So while forming a compound sentence, all you do is link two simple sentences together with what are called fanboys. A very simple shortcut for you to remember the conjunctions, which are called coordinating conjunctions. So whenever you are forming a compound sentence, make sure you use one of these 7 words, which are called coordinating conjunctions. Fanboys stand for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. So these 7 words are called coordinating conjunctions, and coordinating conjunctions are also linking words or cohesive devices. So to show a variety of sentence structure to gain a higher score for grammatical range and accuracy in both the writing and speaking tests, you need to know what exactly are compound sentences. I will give the link for the various sentence types in the description box, so don't forget to check it out. Finally, the last application for linking words is to form complex sentences. Yes, not just compound sentences, but using cohesive devices, you can also form complex sentences, which I must say are a wonderful addition for both the writing and the speaking tests. So just like I have given a clue for remembering coordinating conjunctions, I am going to go ahead and give you a simple shortcut to remember complex sentences and subordinating conjunctions. That is, on a white bus. So I repeat, on a white bus. So if you can remember this, then clearly you can use the linking words, which are also called subordinating conjunctions. So O stands for only if, N stands for now that, nevertheless, nonetheless, A stands for although and after, W is for while, whereas, whatever, wherever, whichever, whoever, what, when, where, all such interrogative pronouns would come under this. Then H stands for how and however. I stands for if, in spite of, in order that. And T is for though, this, that. Then E stands for even though and even if. B is for because and before. U, unless and until. Finally, S is since. Guys, have you seen how easy it is to remember the cohesive devices when you know the right approach? So let me recapitulate it once. For forming a good paragraph, whether it is the body paragraph or the introduction or the conclusion, for the writing task, you need linking devices which are used for various purposes, such as for giving an opinion and to list your ideas one after the other, then for giving examples, to suggest a result, to conclude, and to form compound sentences as well as complex sentences. So I hope this lesson was particularly useful for all of you who are wishing to get a good score on the IELTS writing and speaking tasks. And till I see you with the next video, which is equally informative, please stay tuned to our channel World of English Exams. And if you like this video, please share it with all your friends. Give a huge thumbs up to this video, and don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned to our channel World of English Exams. Happy preparation, guys!